Hello, today I'm going to be solving a LeetCode problem. In particular, I'm going to be running through NeetCode's list of 150 LeetCode problems. And the way that we're going to be able to divide and conquer these problems is through NeetCode's roadmap. Let's go ahead and get started with arrays and hashing, and starting with the first problem, contains duplicates. So contains duplicates is a problem where we are given an integer array of numbers, and simply put, we need to return true if any value appears more than once in the array that we are given. Otherwise, we simply need to return false. Here we're given an example where we're given a list of nums, and it comprises of numbers 1, 2, 3, and 3. And we have to return true because 3 appears twice. In our second example, we're given a list of numbers comprising of 1, 2, 3, 4, and we have to be able to provide the output false. And this makes sense. There are no duplicates here. I guess other things that we need to think about are other edge cases that might pop up. One popular one that I like to think about is what happens if we are given an empty list. I'd like to think, due to the nature of this problem, we're simply checking to see if there are duplicates, and if there are no items in our list, we would simply return false. Another one is if we are given a list of invalid numbers, like let's say strings, or strings. What would we return here? I'd like to think that we would return false, but at the same time, for the sake of the problem, let's assume that we're given valid input, but it is something to consider when you're solving these type of problems. Other than that, the problem doesn't state whether it is sorted or not, so let's make some base assumptions here. So first we're going to assume valid input, unsorted, can contain duplicates, and if it does, we want to return true. Other than that, we've identified a couple of edge cases and assumptions here. So I think we're ready to I think we have a great understanding of the basic problem here. Let's go ahead and kind of run through a couple of ideas. At first, I think the most simple solution would be for every element, we check to see if there is another element in the list that is equal to that value. So essentially what that would mean is we would be doing the brute force solution, where we would essentially, for every element, compare to all elements in the list. And this is a very simple solution. Essentially, we would have to loop through the list and then loop through the sublist of remaining elements and perform comparisons. This is pretty inefficient, performing at n squared. Essentially, for every element, we have to look at every other element, so this becomes extremely expensive. What are other ways that we can tackle it? Like, let's go back and look at some of our assumptions here. We assume valid input. We mentioned that it can contain duplicates, so that's what we're looking for. I think a great way to compare is actually through sorting the list. So we know that the list isn't sorted, but simply put, if we were to sort the list, all we would have to do is keep track of elements behind us to see if we've previously been seen. And so what that would look like is first we would sort our given list, and there are popular methods in Python to do this, like sorted, and dot sort. And then we would have to go ahead and just loop through the list, until dupes are found. Otherwise, we would return false. This one's a little bit more efficient than n squared. Sorting at its worst case would be n log n, where log n is the work required to partition the set into smaller sets, and then n is just scanning all of the elements that is given in our list. It's a little bit more efficient, but I think we could do a bit better. And this is really where the power of data structures comes in to kind of coincide with how we can make our algorithm a bit more efficient. If all we are doing is just scanning elements in our list and seeing if they have been seen before, a great data structure that we can utilize in this case would be a set. Essentially, we would initialize our set and then loop through our list, and then we would return true if our number exists in our set. Otherwise we would add our number to the set, and if no duplicates are found, we would simply return false if no duplicates are found. And this one's a little bit more efficient because since we are just running through the list once, really that's just big O of n, and n being the size of the list. I don't know a better way to do it. If y'all do have any ideas, feel free to leave a comment down in the comment section below. But let's go ahead and implement the set algorithm here. So let's go ahead and do this. Let's go ahead and initialize a set for our numbers that are seen. We would run through our list for num in nums. If num in num, let's go ahead and make this plural, nums seen. So if our number is in our set, simply we would return true. Else we would go into our num seen and we would add our number, and then we would just return false if there were no duplicates found. And let's go ahead and run through this. We initialized our set. We looped through our list in line 33. We returned true if our number exists in the set, 34 and 35. Otherwise, we added our number to our set, 37, and then returned false if no duplicates are found. Let's go ahead and run this and see if it works. Awesome. And then let's go ahead and submit it. Sweet. All right. See you in the next one.